Good morning. Hey, look, it's rained. We are on our way this morning to Evan Williams and the Evan Williams Bourbon Experience, but not for a bourbon experience. Well, yes, for a bourbon experience, but for more than that, for a bourbon boot camp. It's like 7 in the morning. These boot camp people, you got to get up early, and you got to get up early if you want to make bourbon. And that's what we're doing this morning. We are going to do with Evan Williams a bourbon making experience. That's what the bourbon boot camp is. You all get together. You can take up to 6 people with you. We're doing it just the 2 of us, and you can make whiskey in their heritage still. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make ourselves some whiskey. And here we are outside the Evan Williams Bourbon Experience. We're gonna see if we can just go on in. It says closed, but it looks locked, but it's not. They're coming to get us. Hi. Morning. Alan. James, nice to meet you, James.
Nice to meet you all. Come on in. I have some waves for you all this time. I didn't get
Okay.
coffee with you all, so if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. We can do
Welcome
it.
back.
Sure.
So it's myself. I'm the assistant distillery manager here.
Sure.
Will J, our distillery coordinator, will be joining us. And then we have Nick back here. Nick he floats. Sometimes he does bar stuff. He'll accept tasting rooms and stuff like that. And then some days he's down here with us when we need him.
So cool.
Oh, look at it in here.
So this is all part of the tour. Your experience comes with the tour. If you would like it, you don't have to, but it is offered. So this is set up as, this is Louisville, back in the 1700s. So Evan Williams was a real historical figure. He was a wharf master here in Louisville. He helped build the first jail and the first courthouse. This distillery is not very far from here, kind of adjacent to where we are right now. It's where the Aldi Center is. So basically what you do, walk through town. When you get up to the second floor, it's going to be more present.
Yeah.
It's a very media-driven tour, so you have videos that play both the screens. This would be an example of what his old distillery may have looked like. It's going to be very similar to what we use. We distill on pots here instead of columns. So we do bourbon, pot distilled bourbon, 1 barrel a day, small batch, just like you would. You come into this room.
Are you using wood mash?
Now we use stainless steel.
I was gonna say mash tubs. I don't know what they're called now.
Fermented.
Fermented. Yeah.
So you come in here, video plays of our.
No, mash tub. Yeah. That's what I think.
This is a video that plays at our Burnham distillery, and then you get like a little light show that shows how they do it over there. So this would be, you got your big beer column and your doubler. This would be a continuous distillation setup. You can run this thing 24/7. Turn it on. As long as you're feeding mash into the still, you're gonna have whiskey coming out. So ours, we put everything. We put the contents of one fermenter into the still at the beginning of the day. Turn it on, and then we deplete our proof as we go. So our proof will start off high at the beginning of the day as it's coming off the still, and then it'll get lower and lower. We take both of the stills down to 10 proof, and then we'll cut them off. We'll pump them out, and we'll get ready for the next day. This is just a sample rig piece. We don't do any of the aging here. This distillery, like I said, barrel a day, everything by hand. We do everything on site except for mill, bottle, and age. Where we dump our grain. This is Nick. Hey guys.
Hi, Nick.
How's it going?
Good. Alan.
Nice to meet you, Alan. Like I said, we don't
This is
mill.
Andrea.
So we don't mill here, but we get all of our grain. It comes in 50-pound bags. But right now we are doing a weeded bourbon.
Oh,
What we're
lovely.
distilling and matching today. What we do, They have a stack of sequence. So the way that the order that we dump is how they stack it. So on top you'll have corn and wheat. Then towards the bottom you'll have your malted barley. So I'm not digging around doing any of that, wasting time. Everything goes down in here. Got a mash tub downstairs. Fans real quick. When we're cutting and filling a barrel and we're distilling, it'll be up here with myself and Will. Will's not here yet. He'll be here around 7:45. So he's got kids he's got to drop off.
Fair enough.
So, and then when mashing and dumping grain and stuff like that, you'll be with Nick.
Okay. It's exciting.
Because you obviously run through the whole process, which is in different stages, right?
This is probably where it's going to be the loudest down here. Mash tub right here, all those grains are going to dump into this tub. We'll get our water level. We'll get that water to 140 degrees. We'll dump what's called pre-malt. Pre-malt's going to go in. We're going to get the enzymes for the malted barley. It's going to keep everything else loose when it goes in. We don't want our corn or our wheat to kind of mull up, get too gelatinous. We want to keep it nice and loose. So pre-malt in at 140. Let it set for 5 minutes. Here we do our corn and our flavoring grain at the same time. Most people will do corn, cook it up, let it hold for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Pull it down, then they'll add the rye or the wheat. We do them both at the same time here. So we'll put those in. We'll go up to 200 degrees. We'll hold it for 10 minutes. We'll pull down to about 148. We'll add our malted barley. We'll pull down to 85 degrees. We'll add our yeast. We're doing what we call a 6-day set, which means it's going to ferment for 6 days. It will pull down to 72 degrees for that. The longer the ferment, the cooler we keep the fermenters. And then we'll pump into an upstairs fermenter that's already been emptied out. This, we're more than welcome to hop up and have a look. Watch your head on the pipe there. And here is a light if you would like it.
Does it change the flavor in any way with both grains at the same time, or does it make a difference?
We found it doesn't make a difference, but it helps us in our mashing process.
Okay.
For some reason, whatever reason, we don't know why, when we were doing it separate, our grains would get very thick and gelatinous, and then it would take a very long time for us to cool down. So now we found that we do them together, we don't have that problem. This was mashed, pumped over yesterday, so this is a 1 day old.
The milk?
Boiler.
Oh, the boiler.
Boiler, calling for water. It's building pressure right now. So he'll do that when it's building pressure. You get a lot of clanging, jangling. If you would like to sit your first down in here, more than welcome. Yeah. It's catering kitchen. We have a speakeasy here that we rent out. And then we also do tastings on the weekends down here.
Wow.
Yeah, we can pop in and have a look if you like.
Oh, this looks like old school style.
This place is like TARDIS. Every room that you go to just gets bigger and bigger. You wouldn't even know this thing was here. That's so cool.
I'll give you that to hold so that as I walk, it will still hear you.
So does this open up at night, like a bar, or?
Unfortunately, no. We rent it out for events, and then on the weekends we do tastings down here. We'll have our tour guide will be dressed up in like Prohibition era clothes and stuff like that.
We have to come back for that. That'll be so fun to see.
And these are all Louisville in these photos.
5-cent hamburger, I could go for one of them.
Oh, the White Castles? Yeah. So this one's cool. This is Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. This field is on the University of Louisville campus. They did a barnstorming event one year, and they came into Louisville and played a few exhibition games.
I like it. This is very nice.
It's the Square 6, that's only available here, right?
The only available here, we have 3 releases. We have a high rye bourbon, a rye whiskey, and then the wheated, which is what we're doing today.
That's what we're making today.
That's what
the
we're doing
Square 6,
today.
right?
Correct.
Is all the Square 6s
done by people that do this experience, or you're obviously like also doing general mashes, even if you're not got boot camps running.
Square six is what we produce here, so we're pretty much doing all square sixes. We have, we're a small distillery, so they can use us kind of like experiments and stuff like that, which they do every once in a while. But for the most part, we have about 5 core mash bills that we do, and those are released under the Square Six label. All right, we're gonna head in. We're gonna move this. It's gonna get hot back here as well.
Yeah.
It's only a bit steamy. Did you just run water?
I got shorts on, like.
Morning.
Morning.
This is Will.
How's it going? That's pretty well.
So what we're doing now, we have emptied our fermenter into our beer still. That's in, steam is on. That's going to take about 2 hours to start up. What he's going to do is he's taking the low wines that came off the beer still yesterday, and he's going to put them into our whiskey still for redistillation. When we do our distillation over here, this is what we coming off the whiskey still. It comes off in 3 different parts. We have the head, parts, and tails. The hearts are what we're going to keep, and that's what's going to go into the barrel.
Yeah.
Head and the tails are going to get recycled. They're going to go back into the beer still and get redistilled the next day. Just emptying lines out. If you'd like, you grab a flashlight. You can hop up there in the beer still and have a look. I'm going to pop out here and grab a flashlight for you.
Here you go.
Never mind, Will's got one.
Let's go on here too.
7:45 already? Did you get here a little earlier?
No, that's okay.
So as we're collecting whiskey off this pit still, we're not really doing any cuts over here. We're just collecting everything, getting as much whiskey out of it as we can. Then we'll redistill it, and that's when we'll worry about making cuts. Here's our once distilled whiskey.
So you're doing the first cut, you're not cutting heads, tails
No.
off that, and then that when it goes through.
Yeah, so all of this is getting sent to our whiskey still right now. And after, when it comes off on the second distillation, that's when we'll start making our cuts. Yeah, you can. Grungy, oily. That's gonna all get cleaned up.
Yeah, it'll get cleaned up on the second round.
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
There you go. I'm gonna pass this off. I'm gonna pop up there and shut it.
Yeah. Spirit safe.
It gets around your collection and everything.
Jump out of that.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna grab the. All right.
Yes, thank you.
Hey.
What temperature are you looking for here?
So this will start up about 193-ish on the pot, and then the vapors will start rising, and it'll start running about 180 degrees. But those vapor temperatures will not start rising until this is hit about 193-ish. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 193. 1 And then the whiskey still runs at a slightly lower temperature. So that'll start running about 182.
Oh, that's fairly close then.
Yeah,
Like the one
fairly close.
186, 182, yeah. And then are you basing the temps to cut the heart's heads? Tails, how are you?
You can. We tend to do that more based on smell, taste, and proof coming off the still.
Okay.
Just because it's not super precise with the analog thermometers. We can be a little bit more precise with the hydrometers and
Sure.
whatnot.
Why analog thermometers, not digital?
They look pretty.
They look. Fair answer.
There are some things that we designed in here, like the mirror finish on the still, to be pretty, and there is some that we designed to be functional. The hydrometers were more the functionality.
Sure. And where's they're coming out of here?
So it'll come out of here. We will draw a sample in the beaker off of this nipple and use these slightly more precise hydrometers with a temperature adjustment to get the proof down to roughly a tenth of a proof.
Okay.
I was just explaining to her how we cut our barrel.
Okay.
So what we sorry. So what we distilled yesterday is here in this gauging tank. You'll come over here. See, we have a meter. That reads down to the 16th of an inch. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna agitate this tank with air, get it good mixed up. We're gonna take one sample, we're gonna take one beaker out, and we're gonna dump it back in to clear this dead leg here. Then we're gonna take our second sample, we're gonna go out to a DMA machine. It's gonna tell us the proof down to a 100th 100th place point. Then we are gonna plug the proof and the measurement into a program on our computer. It's gonna tell us what the measurement of this needs to be, how many gallons of water, how many inches of water we're gonna have to get it down to 125.
And that's what you're barreling at. It's 125.
We do 125 here. We have done other entry proofs, but for the most part, 125 is what we do. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this. We're gonna get air on it and let it mix up. Let that go probably about 2-3 minutes, and then we'll start taking samples out.
So that's feeding from. That's air.
That's air. So this air here goes into kind of like the back middle. And this air goes all the way down. The line goes all the way down to the bottom. So air to mix it up, water to cut it with right here. And the way we fill it is when we make our hearts cut today, we'll immediately pump it over. This will be empty by the time we make our hearts cut. When we make the hearts cut over there, we'll fill it right back up immediately. They'll come right back in through these lines right here.
I feel like you need like a little map to like work out like.
Oh yeah,
You know, good map.
yeah. We
labels on just about everything.
We labeled everything. Even over here, this valve station, this one, we can pump pretty much anything to anywhere.
So I actually just came this out. So we had the big pipe on from here to here, because we were pumping from here to there. So it came up and over from here, back over that way.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what these were on the end. The
Yep.
bends are.
So the next thing we're gonna do is run hot water from the mash cooker to the fermenter. So that'll come through here from the mash cooker. So we needed to go this way, so we switched out this pipe. So, like James was saying, depending on what pipe is on and which valves are open, we can pump anything from anywhere to anywhere. And all of them are labeled on the backside.
I'm gonna grab some water when I get back on board.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, it definitely takes some getting used to and learning what valves and what pipes go where.
These, you need specific, they only fit specific orientation.
Exactly. Yep.
That's kind of, I guess, like a clock. So what's the central one here?
That's a great question. We don't use that one very often. That is coming from the backset tank, which we are not currently using. But it would come through here, down over this way. Oftentimes, if we're running caustic on the stills, we'll run from here to here, take a slightly longer one, and that all feeds from these pipes. Yeah, there's not exactly a rhyme or reason of where everything is on the clock. It's just where can we fit it. And then the 90-91 going the opposite way, that's how we fill the fermenter. Because we only have one fill line, so we can use that one pipe.
Ah, so that's how you're using it to choose which.
And we can either go that way down into this fermenter, or that way down into this fermenter.
Do you get much leakage when you don't get them on perfectly?
Yes. Yes. It actually happened the other day. We had this pipe on upside down, and so it sat at a slight angle, and it definitely leaked.
Yeah. Fun. Do you lose much from that, or is it like a...
No, it was a couple drops. It was a slight stream, so we stopped it immediately, switched the pipe, fixed it. So we lost maybe a couple milliliters, which in the grand scheme of 700 gallons is no.
Yeah, so what we actually say within this little bit right here, so I make mixed up. Getting rid of it, making sure that read the most accurate reading of the can. Then we'll pop out here to a TMA machine.
Nothing more about the back of the That would be a fake.
You could just put that on if it would be in here.
I was actually thinking about that.
It's got a coconut grip there, or a magnet one, but then the magnet's a little harder to
Do that.
throw around between people.
So we're going to run it through this machine. This machine basically does what the hydrometers in there do, but much more accurately. We'll change the sample number. So it's pulling it out through here, backing around into this reservoir.
So it's looking at density,
Temperature,
alcohol,
ETOH, ethanol, oxygen, hydrogen?
monochromacy.
It's just ethanol.
Ethanol? Oh, ATOH is ethanol?
The OH is the alcohol group
Okay.
on the.
Let's make it massively. And how much does it cycle through to determine?
I'm not entirely sure how much. Probably not a lot.
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot. You won't even see the level of this change really. And this is where this little glass tube is where the alcohol is going, and that in there is probably like that big. that's been blown up on like a little magnifier. So it's got to get the alcohol to about 60 degrees to read it. So on hot days, it takes it a little longer to give us our reading than it does on cooler days.
Just hit to 16 degrees or
60 Fahrenheit.
20 now. Oh no, that's Celsius.
Yeah. What's 60 degrees Fahrenheit and Celsius?
20.
20. Okay.
Yeah. So that's 146 proof now.
Yeah, and our starting proofs range probably about that 140 to 146. Every once in a while we'll get one higher.
Is it hard working in a mix of like Celsius, Fahrenheit? Do you just get used to it?
You just get used to it.
Yeah, it was. So we have thermometers that we use in some like applications. Sometimes we'll break them and we'll order some more and we don't pay attention and we got Celsius thermometers showing up and we're like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, say have you had any like mix-ups with like getting kilos instead of like, I guess I don't know how much you do internationally, but like
Only thermometers.
Yeah.
just thermometers.
Yeah, just temperature. That's really the only thing.
I've adjusted really well to using the Celsius thermometers for the yeast.
They don't make them in Fahrenheit or?
Oh, they do. We just didn't pay attention when we ordered them.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, we got here and we opened them and we're like, that's different.
Well, we didn't expect it.
Yep.
You have it in my bag.
Gotta take the coffee. There's some space.
Like I said, hotter days, it takes a while.
Yeah.
Some days you put it in there and it tells you immediately what it
It's
is.
a cooler day today compared to the last couple of
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
It's been,
We had a nice little storm last night.
yeah.
Cooled everything off.
Me up a couple times.
Oh, I was dead to the world.
We also had our windows open, so.
You guys get some big storms out this way, though. Like, I didn't realize you get like hurricane tornadoes through here.
We'll get tornadoes. Hurricanes will get remnants of.
Laptop,
Meeting.
laptop died. Excuse me.
If doesn't tired, try again. And fine drinking restaurant having combo. A flaming new one. Let me
Yeah.
know.
Little gifts from some of the tour guides. We'll come in here and there's
Ah. Love that joke.
six. We have waters down here. If you guys ever want a water or anything, just let us know.
Okay, now. Oh, here we go.
About it. Something. Green tea with pencil.
Okay, 146. So what we're gonna do, we'll just come right over here. We'll put our measurement in right up here. 146.
146.
146 proof. So we'll come over here, put our proof in. 146. Our starting measurement was 9 inches and 4/16 of an inch. So we convert that to a decimal. Now it tells us right over here. So we need to add 7.354 gallons of water. We're adding 1, and I believe that is 9/16 of an inch. 1 and 10/16 of an inch of water. And we need to be 10 inches and 14/16 of an inch. And that'll give us, that'll give us 125 proof. So what we'll do is we'll add water, but we'll watch the level on that meter. We're gonna get to 1/16 of an inch shy of what we need to be at. And then we're gonna start taking samples, seeing what the proof is. We're gonna slowly add water at that point. air it up again, take another sample. And we're going to continue to do that until we get to 125.00 or slightly below.
Okay.
And then we'll fill it. So
What happens if we do it wrong and we go to like 123?
paperwork. We have to change paperwork. If we go too high, then it's not bourbon. And
Yeah,
we've
that's it.
messed up.
Going too high is worse than going
Yeah.
too low.
If we go too low, all we gotta do is change the paperwork and just let them know when it gets to where it's going.
Okay.
That's pretty much
So
it.
I thought you could just add more water to bring it down, but if you go too low,
Yeah.
you can't add alcohol to bring it up again.
Correct. Yeah.
Don't mess it up.
Yeah. So going low is a headache, but it's fine.
Okay.
Too high is you've really messed up, then you're in trouble. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna write all this down on that clipboard, and then I'm gonna pop out and get breakfast.
Okay.
I'll be back. I'm gonna hand you over to Will.
Sounds good.
He'll be able to answer any questions you guys have.
Sounds good.
146 proof. I'm gonna write this all down.
Cool.
Right, this. So these are, this is like an old proofing look. What we'll do is, with this is inspection or collective marks, we are going to examine in here. This is single here. The hard plastic, in there, 50, 20.
What's your typical ratio of like parts, hands to parts to tails?
Very small amount of heads. Tails might be pretty even. Never actually measured that. So, just a visual, give you a visual representation. About 2 gallons of all the stuff. They're going to predicting players. That's the visual thing that you first. So, they do it's holding the factor. In this side tank, which is smaller than the middle one, we have it marked to where it's about a typical rough for us in our numbers. Okay. So we pump everything over, and then basically what we do is we just move it up this right here.
Oh, you're turning that, yeah, so you're turning that, say, I want to fill that side,
Yeah,
the next one is there.
then the tails, both of these side vessels will be out there, with head and tail.
And is this part into like the volume percent? Is this like 50%, 25%, 25%? I had a question. I had to get my brain into a percentage yet then.
Still but yeah, we use these to tell us this. Especially if we're getting close to make our hard cut. It's basically the same thing. It's an internet out there. All you do is take deeper and fill it up. Drop your hydrometer in. Take your reading off your hydrometer, right here on the side. Take your temperature off your thermometer and match it up. And so forth. This is one of these. Over 250 proof and 156. And that's what it's good at.
That doesn't think of me. I love this, I just did it.
All
right.
So the green bits on top of this is oils.
The green bits are more, it's called copper oxalate. It is the result of a reaction between the copper and the sulfur that the copper is stripping out. So basically the copper and the sulfur react and it produces this green copper oxalate, similar to like a copper rust. So like a rusted copper roof or a copper penny or Statue of Liberty, same kind of reaction.
So that's what you're talking about, like stripping impurities. Is that?
That's one of them that it strips out is sulfur compounds. Because let's be honest, we don't want to drink sulfur. All right, so everything is where it needs to be. go ahead and shut this beer or whiskey still up.
Yeah, I stuck my nose in that before and I'm like, whoo.
It'll get you. Wait a few minutes to turn that on, just so we get time for breakfast. James had written down over here. Water to this. It's probably just condensate from. I mean, that was the water line. No, that's the worst spot because sometimes you'll get condensate coming from the AC, and then these lines will get so cold that the water will condense on there. And I mean, there will be lines all the way over there of just water from where it's dripped off.
Why some things are blue? It's like this.
That's that copper oxalate.
Okay.
So it's stained it. So in here, I mean, you can see it a little bit, like on there. We will take a rag and a stick and kind of swab it out when it kind of builds up a little bit. But with these, we can't really get in there, so it just stains it.
So you add the water now, that's it.
Yep. So I added a little bit of water,
You need to
a little bit at a time. So I'll try to get this up to about 10 and 2/16, or 10 and 12/16, 10 and 13/16, leave it a little bit shy of what it's supposed to be. So that way we can just add a little bit at a time.
So when you're filling this, you're watching that?
We will eventually.
What are you gauging when you're filling from here? What are you gauging?
So we each do it a little bit differently, but we're all counting.
Right.
So for me, when it gets to that point, I'll put my thumb right here in this notch. I'll open that valve to my thumb and I will count 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Everybody counts a little bit differently. But it's all, you have to learn how that valve feels when it's open to you, because I will watch other people do it and I'll count in my head and I'll ask them, what was your count? And they're, oh, that was a 30 count for me, whereas for me it was a 10 count. So, but right there at the beginning, I open it all the way up and just count less. So 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. See how far that got up. Oh, hang on one second. Morning, Jody. Good, how are you doing? I bet. They want to come do a sample today? All right. No, we haven't, and I will get Nick on treating that. All right, sounds good. Bye.
How long does it take to come all the way through?
30 seconds to a minute.
So you can't even watch this, you have to do it from there?
Yeah, pretty much. There is a delay on that.
Yeah. What's the aim? What are you trying to get? What are we trying to get to again?
10 and 12 or 13 sixteenths.
So it's getting closer than 10 and 10 16.
Yeah, so it's honestly to the point now where I will not open it all the way. I'll start doing it halfway and doing it a little bit. right. So this is where we'll do a 10 count should bring it up about a 1/16 of an inch for me. So I will do 2 10 counts. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 2008, 2009, 2010. So theoretically, that should bring it up to 10 and 12/16.
10 and 12. And what happens if it goes over? Just slightly lower.
Nothing. That's why we
10 and 13.
that's why we leave it short.
Okay. That's nothing.
That should be about where it is.
10 and 14.
10, 14.
Yeah.
So because we're adding water to it, it's also probably bouncing around in that tank a little bit.
Do that ever go back down again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Adjusts.
So once we're done with it, before we get the final measurement, we will leave it for like 5 or 10 minutes to get this to kind of settle out, to even out, so we get an accurate final measurement.
So do you put another sample on it out? Are you going to pour that back in?
No.
Yes.
Yes. Whoops.
That's actually.
And this is why we leave it short and give ourselves a margin of error.
So this should bring it back down then.
It should bring it up, but usually, like I said, it'll bounce around a little bit. So honestly, we're close enough. We can just go ahead and put air on it and mix it up. I like to set a timer on my watch so I don't forget about it.
What's your timer? How long?
About 5 minutes. First 2 samples, I'll do about 5 minutes, just because there's more. It's that initial sample and then adding a lot of water. Samples after that, I'll do about 3 minutes.
And you use this process every day?
Every day. Yep. And right now we have a different step of the process going on for different batches. So like what's in the gauging tank is batch 159. What's in the whiskey still is batch 158, 157. Or sorry, 159, 162, 163, and then we're mashing 166. Yeah, 159, 160, 161, and then 164 is getting mashed today.
So it's 2 and 3 fermenting.
2 and 3 are fermenting.
Yeah.
So 162 is in that other fermenter, 163 is in the downstairs fermenter, and so there's a different step of the process going on all at the same time for different batches. So it's just a lot of balls in the air.
Yeah.
Is it more difficult when you have people like us coming through and...
Hey, I helped.
No. We're to the point now where it's kind of a well-oiled machine. It's
Yeah.
We love doing things like this. We're all extremely passionate
Yes.
about our jobs, and it's fun.
Do you ever get to play around with formulas, experiments, try
A
something
little bit.
new?
We actually, so in the last 3 years, we have done 3 completely new, not just mash bills, but 3 completely new types of whiskey. We have done a rye malt whiskey, So it's 95% malted rye, 5% malted barley. We did and 2 different American single malts. One was 100% just crystal malt, 2-row malted barley, and one was 17% chocolate malt, 83% 2-row malt. And that one, when it was fermenting, it looked like a baking vat of brownies.
I want some of that.
It was cool. So we've got an experiment with that. We've got one project that there's talks of us doing later this year with some more chocolate malt. We've done some other projects. We've done, I think it's up to 24 or 25 different mash bills here. And that's not even including other experimental barrels we've done. Things like we've done a triple distilled whiskey. We've used chinkapin oak. We've used 1 char, 3 char, 4 char, 5 char barrels. We've done air dry barrels, so like experimenting with different barrels. We've done double barrels.
That's cool. How do you do chocolate? Do you just use them with cocoa beans or?
No, so it's a type of grain. So think coffee beans, like roasting coffee beans.
Yeah.
Same process. It's just, instead of doing just a little bit of heat to kill that germination process in the malt, they do a lot of heat for a really long time and basically burn it. I think we may still have some downstairs that we can show you. I mean, it smells like coffee beans.
But it's nothing to do with chocolate.
No, it just it looks like chocolate, and it produces aromas and flavors that are like dark chocolate and coffee beans and cacao, like raw cacao, and
they were like proper chocolate, cocoa beans or something.
Nope.
Okay, so where's my bubble by there?
But it's insane that even just, we've done one at 10%, one at 17% chocolate malt. Just roasting that grain beforehand, like you would coffee, and the different flavors that produces, even after mashing it, fermenting it, distilling it. I'll let you try some of that, and it's really cool. All right, timer went off. Right?
Testing it.
Yep, sure am.
You already have water?
Yeah.
Okay. Whiskey still. Steam one.
I was getting ready to turn it on now. I was waiting until you got back.
I was bang on degrees. Oh, I was going to take.
Yeah. Because it has to pull it up through.
I just seen the little bubble go through a second ago.
Yep.
Like, yeah. So it's going through here. It does like a little turn, and then it goes back.
And then it comes out this side. This is the pump that draws it through, and then there's a little reservoir that will then,
Oh, so that's where it's all getting dumped back.
when it gets full, we'll dump it back in to get distilled.
Ooh, we got scrubbers about to crawl into the fermenter. Scrub it down.
Oh.
Scrub it. You have to scrub, and we'll steam it out. We'll kill everything.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what. So you guys obviously all rolled under Heaven Hill. How much are you guys more exclusively under the Evan Williams brand label versus how much falls under?
So what we make here is bottled under our own label. It's the Square 6. So it's Square 6 by Evan Williams. So it technically falls under the Evan Williams family.
Just wondering, like, from like that corporate structure of like, do they kind of say, well, parent companies Heaven Hill, but then you're very much under like an Evan Williams?
So Heaven Hill doesn't, other than with the 2 visitor centers, doesn't really differentiate with their American whiskeys. Like, it's kind of all Evan Williams, Elijah Craig, Larceny. It all falls under the same small umbrella.
Yeah.
Whereas where you get the kind of the differences, where it really sects off is things like Deep Eddy vodka, Black Velvet Canadian whiskey, our Samson and Surrey profile, which is Widow Jane's, Luco, Lunazul, or not Lunazul. Lunazul's another umbrella.
Widow Jane's got some good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I was real excited when we acquired them. I do not have a radio.
I don't know if this is the one that was up here.
There's a radio over here, though.
Just waiting for this to come down.
Yep.
Temperature. Are you putting her in?
You're going inside it.
You gotta get down into your stuff. So the thing I'm standing on is our air sparger. It blows air through the thing to keep it aerated. So
Yeah.
when you need to mix stuff up, it helps mix it. We gotta take the caps off. So this brain can get inside there and start molding basically. So we want to make sure we get it clean as much as we can.
Shall I pass you something?
Can you do me a favor? Can
Yeah.
you sit down? Let me shut this real quick. Go ahead and open this yellow valve right here, all the way up. Just
Up?
yeah, I think it's inside. Perfect. Thank you. That way I can use this to hook her to work already.
Yeah.
She wanted to help, so I was like,
No, I'm happy to. This is cool.
You're also about well, yeah, but it was just turning a valve. So all I did was make it so I can open this and then go air through our air sparger.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna scrub the walls,
Yep.
rinse out the middle, scrub the struts, because we basically want to get rid of all extra grain that we have that didn't make it into the thermometer, because that can also mold, it can hold bacteria in it, so we want to try to prevent as much bacteria as we can.
Nice.
We're gonna steam this afterward to get rid of everything that is on my feet, stuff like that. It'll get rid of all the surface stuff. We just want to make sure we keep all the places steam may not be able to get very easily.
Awesome.
Let's steam this. Oh, could you pull it off to the rack one more time, if you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
One
Thanks,
moment.
Phil. Yep, that works perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm picking up breakfast. I haul it on the radio. Nobody.
Ah,
So that's what he called you.
he was just checking in basically, and then MSD. So,
It's one that's down. And then
Cool.
whatever, ready. It's the
did you turn whiskey still on? You did. Cool.
Put it away.
The what?
Put it away. You can say it. It's funny because I do a lot of because I do a bunch of like filming bits and I'm like, focusing on this, like making sure that the shot is clean. It's really hard to do this and think of questions. So she's always like asking questions, and I know a lot of stuff, but then she'll ask
Yeah.
stuff that I'm not even thinking about, like the chocolate malt thing.
Yeah.
So it's actually like a really good balance of having her who's, I mean, she likes whiskey, drinks whiskey, and knows knows a surprisingly large amount. You have how much whiskey left knowledge you have. I don't know anything.
So these are not all of them, but these are these are like our core mash bills. It's breaking down. It's basically like a recipe card.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you the measurements, the percentages, all of our part numbers and codes, and it literally gives you the instructions for what we're doing for today. So this is what we're making today, our 16% wheated bourbon. But then, like I said, we've done like probably 20 other mash bills, experimenting with different grains and different ratios.
And there are no secret recipes, right? Like
No.
Everyone understands different distilleries.
It is insane in the last 10 years, kind of the shift in mentality, because it used to, when I first started here 10 years ago, they were reluctant to tell me, an employee, what our mash bills were. Now they're posted on our website. Anybody can go look at them. We've kind of come to the realization of you can have our grain recipes, you're never going to be able to replicate it. You don't have our yeast, you don't have our stills. Like even when we bought our new distillery in 1999, they had to do so many adjustments and add more copper to the still itself to replicate the taste that they wanted from the old distillery.
There's a Scottish distillery who have a dent in one of their pot stills from way back when they were installing it. And when they had to replace the still, the whiskey didn't taste anywhere near the same, and they had to re-dent the new still to get their flavor profile back.
I believe it.
It's funny.
It's crazy, like it, because it'll.
Acts like an onion.
Yeah, exactly. That was my thought.
Onion.
So
What do you mean?
Go see if there's one. Is there an onion on these stills out here?
in Old Distillery, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to plot, you would see what an onion is.
Are lights on and everything in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's all these terms. We're making whiskey, but it's beer,
Yeah.
fine wine, low wine, onions.
Oh, yeah, where does low wines? Low wine.
Don't know.
Why is it called wine if we're making whiskey? Why is it
So
called
this would
whiskey?
be an onion.
On the week at the top.
It's the kind of the bulbous part above the still.
So basically, like on the sides, it would go up, and then as the vapors hit the side,
Basically here to here,
it fall back down. So it's just the way to get reflux.
because it changes the density. So as it gets funneled through the top, the density or the pressure increases. Then when it comes back out into the onion, it decreases. So then that means it's going to condense on the sides, and then it condenses, falls back in, and kind of redistills. So on our stills, we have the column on top with the valves behind it. So we can open and close those valves. It's essentially changing the size of the onion. It kind of allows us to adjust the amount of reflux that we get.
That's so cool. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Like, I mean, you guys probably didn't know that. Like,
I thought everybody called it an onion. Yeah.
no, oh yeah, no, I meant like the Scottish guys like having a dent in like one of their stills, and they were a big producer. I need to find out who they. Well, I'm sure you can like look it up.
Mm-hmm.
But when they were first installing, like, stills are expensive. And you can't just be like, well, we dented it, like...
Yeah, you can't just send it back.
Yeah. So they just had to work with it, and they were smaller then, and then as they kind of grew and grew, I don't know how long it lasts. But... So we're slightly over here.
Yep, which is exactly where we want to be.
The breakfast is ready, but it's down for the speakeasy.
125.71.
Yep, so we have to get that down between 124.80 and 125.00.
So it can't be anything above 125, not even by 0.01. Okay.
Nope.
Otherwise, it's not whiskey.
Taxes.
Okay, tax. Yeah, taxes always.
Okay, I'm gonna pour this back in the gauging tank, and then we can go downstairs and do breakfast.
Amazing, thank you.
That's about 145.
What's that?
It's hot.
Oh.
But it's up here, it's only about 80 degrees. Down here on the bottom where it's that steam is getting injected, it's real hot.
Like, it's cold, 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 cold. A bit warmer, a bit warmer.
So you can actually, there's a little seam right there. So below that it's like a little jacketing down there where the steam gets injected. So it's basically a steam powered hot plate.
And then we'll do the bubble caps and all that good stuff.
I don't think so.
We'll get this kind of look at what are called bubble caps, which help with reflux. They're like little bells.
Oh, yeah?
What is it?
So vapor will hit those, condense back down, come back into a liquid, gather. Liquid level on this column, sorry, on this tray, and then that liquid will be still to continue on up into a
Using the camera.
That's yeah.
It's a bit heavier. It's a little bit. So what are we? This is like a little bit easier. What are we looking at?
So that circle back there is just the port on the other side looking out the back wall. These little bells right here are the bubble caps. So it's a cap that the vapor is allowed to come up through, hit, and condense back out on that tray. And so it's like a little mini distillation.
And there's one of those in every bubble.
Yes.
Well, sorry, in every bubble, in every port.
Yes.
So when you have the huge, long column stairs, there's one of those at every single level always. Or
The
are they
bubble
different?
caps, it's only at the high levels.
Okay.
On the lower levels, it's all perforated trays so that the grain can fall through.
Have you seen them yesterday?
Yeah, we've seen that at Stitzuela. They have
Yes.
the old one. You can actually see the.
Yeah, where it's the perforated trays, so the grain's able to fall and cascade through. But above where the mash comes in on a column still, it will have bubble caps like this. Significantly larger ones, but bubble caps.
You can say what time this gives you.
No, I'm assuming 9:30, between 9:30 and 10,
And
which they usually do.
is this one bubble caps or is this plates?
Yes, same thing. Bubble caps. Yep.
Why no plates?
We don't have grain because we don't need the grain to cascade down. So all the grain and the beer basically is in the belly. There's an agitator running to keep it
Gotcha.
moving instead of gravity.
So we only have vapor going up and through. We don't have water and grain. All that.
Right. So this is a hybrid still, right?
Yes.
So you're using the pod base, and then you're
Yep.
splitting it up through the column. So you only need the top half.
So those valves back there, we can open and close them. If we open them, that tray with those bubble caps are basically disengaged so that nothing will fill up on that tray. And the way we open and close those valves, it's essentially changing the size of the onion.
Okay.
Or it would be like changing the size of an onion on a traditional pot still. So it just gives us a little more control.
And the control you're talking about, so like changing a lower one versus a higher one, what's the difference? Like, why would you want to change the size of an onion? Like, what's the impact that it's having?
So do you know, would changing which plate was open change very much, or just the amount of plates?
I feel like we played around with it when we first opened. I don't think we could really tell much on the taste. We can tell the difference on like the yield. So as more open, we get a smaller yield, but we get a higher proof.
So more open, smaller yield, higher proof. So that's the number.
Yeah, they're little shut.
So you don't really care which one you open, it's just how many you open.
For us, yeah, it might be different for different distillery, but makes it for us. Yes.
There's so many things to remember. This is why having the video as well is amazing, because I'll go back and as I like do a bit of it and I watch stuff and
Oh, I forgot about that.
There's a lot going on. It's a small distillery, but we got a lot going on here.
Yeah.
We're doing work like multiple departments all right here in a very small space.
It takes it requires almost the same amount of manpower to run this distillery to make 1 barrel a day as it does to run our main distillery, where they can make 1,500 barrels a day if they're running 3 shifts, because everything's automated. Here, everything is done by hand, so it's a completely different process.
so why do they do that?
Tourism, kind of to have a different product, because a pot still is going to produce a product that tastes completely different than a column still. So something to be able to differentiate ourselves a little bit. We also, so the Shapira family has owned this building since the 1940s. It used to be offices and warehouses for their box store, their clothing store. When that went out, they kind of repurposed it for this. And so they look a little bit prettier than just regular column stills. And with the size of the building, I mean, this building's only 27 feet wide. It was a chore to get everything in here as well.
We're on the ground now.
Are we at the ground?
No, this is the first floor. So we're at ground level right now.
But everything down in the basement, they have a loading dock out here. And then take the load, they ship the loading dock out. And then put everything in, put it all together, and then repave the loading dock.
Oh, the concrete thing's on.
100 degrees
I was gonna say, what are you taking? And this is in Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Fahrenheit.
Because it's just with water boils at 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Like is that like boiling it.
So that'll, they have to start cooking all that about 100
180.
yeah,
Roughly.
175, about 180 degrees. What we do, we have this up with 3 rounds of steam. We'll cut it back when the vapors start to go. We'll cut it back 2 rounds. Leave it open 1 round for the rest of the day. And it's a little circular our cuts. All that good stuff.
Go eat breakfast before this starts up.
Yeah.
And this is about 150.
That'll be just enough time, 100 degrees.
Yeah. And I had a burrito.
So we do 10 pounds for 5 minutes until you start them to rest.
Yeah. Let's keep going and then leave to it back in now.
Just keep going.
This one I think?
Yep.
I was wondering what
Get the enzymes going in. The enzymes will help kickstart the process. They will eventually denature just because of heat, the way that it goes up when we start cooking stuff up. But the initial impact of the enzymes will help break down some of those initial sugars and get it so that way the sugars, the complex sugars, are more easily accessible from. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, can I give you that just
Yeah.
clip it on? They're about
Let me see.
yeah,
I figured it out.
crocodile clip, yeah.
So I'm gonna pull this over. Is this any of your guys' umbrella?
No.
Morning, Kevin.
Maybe the city guy?
Yeah, maybe. Our lead bourbon educator. Just gonna pull this over. We start dumping this. I'm gonna hand you guys some gloves because we tend to use box cutters, and legal just likes it more when we make sure that your hands are protected when we do that.
You got to do some grain lifting? It's like,
You don't have to. All right. So did you all get a chance to look at the mash bill already?
Not in detail.
Here.
We know that it's sweet, but not the issues. Oh, we looked at the recipe. Yeah.
You did look at this? Okay. Well, I'll pull it out anyways.
Now.
It's okay. I'm the same way sometimes. When we switch from a random thing to a different thing, I'm like, wait a minute. What am I doing? So we also like to list everything down here, so if anyone comes in, they would always know what to do.
I do like a wheated bourbon, so this is like.
Have you? Well, I mean, you're gonna have it later, I'm sure. But when you try our wheated, you're gonna have to let us know how you like it, because we love our wheated. We call it squeet, our square 6 wheat, so it's a squeet. So this is the grain dump. It's basically just a big slide down to the cylindrical tub downstairs, our mash cooker. I have to open up the valve because we don't want the steam obviously coming up the tube. And then, excess steam anywhere that you don't want it is not good. Heats everything up. In here we actually have a vacuum system to prevent some of that dust from spreading out too far. So that I turned on, that blows down to keep the dust from coming up into here, but we also will activate a vacuum over here. So that's that sound. So grain dust is actually highly explosive.
Right.
So the reason, there's a story I've heard, I don't know how true it is, but they originally wanted to put a mill downtown, like in this building for it. Obviously we may not have had the room anyways, but they, as far as I heard the story, they cut it off because they were like, there's too much risk of having explosions downtown and nobody wants to have that happen. So that's why we get all our grain milled and then put to us, just because grain dust is volatile, so it becomes a problem. That was our 10 pounds of pre-malt. So we're gonna let that mix up for 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna start measuring out the other ingredients we need. I'm gonna put this over here. So, 13 pounds of corn. We might already have that. Let's see what's in this bucket. $13.32. I guess I can take 0.3 off.
Maybe up to 13.
Yeah, I'm looking for 13 pounds. I normally would go 13.2 just to make sure that I have the amount I need. Because sometimes these buckets weigh different amounts. It's weird. So I normally keep it right between 0.2. Yeah, that little tiny amount. So you got corn ready to go. I'm gonna go and start my timer. I forgot to do that. 10 pounds, 5 minutes. Then we need 30 pounds of wheat, I believe. 30 pounds of wheat. No, 43 pounds. I was looking at the malt. 43 pounds. Okay. So we should, if our grain distributor did it right. This one's not labeled. That's not good. So this bag isn't labeled. I'm just checking to see what's exactly in it real quick before we get started. So that's corn. Obviously you can tell corn apart from anything else. It's the yellow texture.
Barley malt.
Barley malt, we're gonna go ahead and actually pop that off the top. Because we don't dump the malt at the same time as we dump our other ingredients. So we're gonna pop the barley malt off the top. Yellow corn. So SRW ground, that's our wheat. That's what we're looking for. So we need 2 bags plus 43 pounds. So we got 1 bag there. Let me cut this plastic off some more.
Where do you want me to put this?
We still got a couple minutes. I'm just trying to find 2 more bags of it, and then we can do, yeah, we got 3 more minutes. So I'm just looking for, there's 2 bags. So hopefully this is our 3rd.
Yeah.
That's our ground? All right, cool. I'll take this. We're gonna come over here. I don't think we have any left over. So we don't have any leftover wheat, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of the, we had that scale, that's how much the buckets weigh normally. So these bags weigh about half a pound by themselves. So it's about a 50-pound bag. So what I'm gonna do is actually, I'm just gonna take 7 pounds out of this bag, put it in one of the buckets, so that way we have the 43 pounds we need extra. Whew. Morning. So we're gonna take about 7 pounds out of here. Or 6.5 more like. $43, okay, it took too many. So I put the extra half pound on there because of the paper bag. So that's all the wheat we're gonna dump. So we've got everything measured out. All we gotta do now is make sure that when we start dumping, which we have a minute and a half left until it's done aging. But this, not this. This is just extra we can hold for later.
Different types.
We tried to. So before we got bags, we used to get everything in buckets like this. The one thing about buckets is that they were way more expensive to replace than paper bags. It was cheaper for our grain producer to put it in bags, so they were like, we're going to try to do that. They did do us a favor by putting everything in an order where we could actually dump the grain and we didn't have to pull the whole pallet apart to do that, so that was really helpful from them. But yeah, we used to have different color lids for each different type of grain. I try to use the pink for wheat. Blue normally goes on rye, but sometimes we have extra grains that don't necessarily fit. Corn is normally white, and then we've had green lids in the past for malt, but it really is just, we haven't had them in so long, I forget exactly what they used to be derived into. I don't know how many bags you,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't know how many bags you want to dump, but so we're good on time. So I'm gonna dump our 13 pounds. This is a bag that accidentally got cut open, so that's why it's up here, it's chilling, so we don't dump it all over the floor. So that's that. I'll dump them all, and then we can Ooh. Thank you. All right. So depending on how you want to do it, I'm gonna dump this bag just because it's broken, and I don't know how well it's gonna go. So you can either cut it on the belly and then flip it over, or if you don't want to use the blade, you just want to pull it, you can pull this off. As long as you pull it from the right side over, it'll pull that top part off. Then you just push it over and then stuff like that. But the faster way, morning.
It's a cut down the valley, isn't it?
Yeah, the faster way is to just, I'll show you an example and then I'll let you guys try it.
So how many bags of that you
13 bags of corn.
13 bags of corn.
Correct. So then the other way of doing it, this is our wheat, but that's fine. Do you need to get through? So you can do it either way. Obviously, if you want to cut it, we prefer you use the gloves just in case something happens. I'm going to gather them separately so that way I can keep track of how many we got. So this is our wheat. We'll gather that over here. If you just want to grab one and go ahead and dump it in.
Same with the wheat.
Yeah. If you, we need 2 bags of wheat, and I think that should be the second. Yeah, you just cut it the best you can, and then kind of just flip it over and pop it open where you can. Hell yeah. Perfect. I'll take that. That's our 2 bags of wheat. So if you see any more SRWs, let me know. It should all be corn from now on. Should all be corn. Which one is that? It's an SRW? Yeah. Okay. Well, wait, I missed that one, so we'll get it next time. You know what? If yellow corn, we're good. Yeah, you're good. And then whenever you guys are tired of doing it, I'll do the rest. I'll take that. Thank you. And this one will be your last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
What about on bits instead of
I'm sorry?
The corn that like sits back.
We're gonna. Are you asking about the stuff on the back? Yeah, we're gonna wash that off here in a second. Before we do that, we turn off the vacuum and the blower just because we don't want the vacuum to suck up water, because there's behind that there's several different bags, and when they start getting wet they will mold. So we try to prevent them from getting as wet as possible, because nobody likes mold.
No.
So all I do, take this hose and slowly rinse everything back down to the bottom. Do our best to clean it up, because anything that isn't, washed down, if it gets wet and sits up here, it will mold and grow bacteria and all sorts of nasty stuff on it. So we want to try to prevent that as much as we can. So we're going to do our best to wash everything down into the mash cooker downstairs.
It's not too much work, but it's probably nice when somebody comes along and does all the bags.
I was gonna say, I do enjoy when you have a boot camp, because that means I have to do it less. Not always the case, but it is nice when someone else comes and helps out doing it. The worst part is only during the summer when it's this hot. Because I didn't even do that and I'm still sweating. So it gets really hot back here because the boiler is directly beneath this floor. So any of its excess heat is just heating up the floor below us, and that in turn heats up everything else. It's really just a pain in the butt. So I try to avoid this back room if I can during the rest. So we're just rinse off the grates. We had such minuscule amount of water up here that it doesn't really affect the mash downstairs.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to come with me afterward, I can show you what it looks like in the mash cooker before we cook up and then afterward. Ouch.
You can really smell so you smell now some of the grains in that corn that when you nose or you taste some of the whiskey sometimes, you're like, what is that I'm smelling? And if you're not smelling corn and stuff like all the time every day, or wheat, I think that you don't, say, oh, that you smell the wheat on that, or you smell that. It's like, I don't.
Well, that's the one thing that's fascinating about bourbon tastings. So there's so many stuff, if you don't know the name of what you're smelling, you're just like...
I know the smell, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're like if you never have smelled coriander or something in your life, you would never be like, oh, that smells like coriander. You just be like, I don't know what this smell is. It smells... Everyone always says earthy or, sweet.
Yeah.
But if you do one of the tasting classes where you actually have the nosing products where you can actually figure it out after that, that's always really fascinating, because there's so much stuff that I've never smelled before, and I'm like, oh, turns out that's what that smells like.
Or you don't smell frequently enough that you can't name it. I think my problem is smell is difficult to articulate, but I know what I'm smelling.
Yeah.
I'm trying to compare it to something.
Yeah. One of my favorite ones is it smells like the taste of this. And it was like, what does that mean? What do you mean it smells like the taste of bananas? So I'm gonna hang this here so it lights up a little bit. So you can look at it now. Whoops. Before we start cooking up. It's just gonna look like stuff in a water solution, which is basically what it is. For corn in particular, we cook a lot higher temperature than we do other grains. It takes a lot of energy to gelatinize corn. So when we say gelatinize it, we want to pull everything that's inside the corn into the water outside of it. So instead of having grain and water, we have distiller's beer, basically, where there's not as much sugar in the grain that's actually left in there. We pull everything out as we can into the water around it. So we're gonna cook this up to 200 after this. Those are clean. I just need to take them upstairs.
I didn't know if you were gonna.
So the longer it cooks, the higher the temp we get, the more thick everything will become. It'll start to look a lot more like oatmeal and water and grain mixed together. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, something's not right. For some of the other grains, we don't cook nearly as hot. They don't need to necessarily just need to be pasteurized enough where there's not, bacteria or mold growing on them. But corn takes a little bit more energy to actually start gelatinizing. So we tend to go up to 200 on that.
Gelatinizing. That's a great word.
It is. You didn't really use it before. I didn't really use it before I started working here. 1, 2. So
Agitating?
that's actually just the steam pressure. So it's hot steam hitting colder water that creates that thumping sound. So like oftentimes when you hear people talk about a thumper, that's the same process. There's no actual mechanical thing in there doing that. It's just the hot product coming in contact with a much cooler product afterward.
Like bubbling.
Yeah, it's essentially like bubbling. I'm not a physicist, so I don't exactly understand how thermodynamics work, but I know basically it creates a small thump when the hot product comes in contact with the cold one. So the hotter this gets, it's going to stop making noise. It's going to be quiet. Once they've reached equilibrium between the temperatures, it'll stop making that thumping sound. Yeah. So right now we're just going to heat this up to 200. We'll let it sit for 10 minutes after that. We'll cool it down to around 148 because the enzymes in malted barley start to break down above 150. So we add the malted barley mostly specifically for their enzymatic properties. They break down those long chains of starches into smaller chains, so that way our yeast can use them, because the yeast can only break down simple sugars, basically. So if there's complex sugars in there, like dextrose and stuff like that, sucrose I think is actually a basic, but you get the gist. The alpha amylase, beta amylase, all these enzymes that are in malted barley are used to break down long chains of sugars into smaller chains so that yeast can use them more efficiently. We just basically want the yeast to have the easiest time possible of making alcohol and prevent bacteria from taking over, basically. That's all. Basically, the whole art of distilling is make a good home for yeast, bad home for bacteria and mold. They're basically the same thing. Bacteria and mold at this point.
There's a lot of up and down back and forth. Gotta go here, gotta run over there.
Yeah.
But I need to pick up the lip and you
I was gonna say.
on the stairs and it's
A lot of up and down. A lot of
Are you doing this up and down because of your sites? So like if you're on a larger site, you just do it on a single level?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It depends.
Space.
I mean, it's the most effective use of our space. Plus, we don't actually have to use anything to pump our grain into our grain tub.
That's why I was asking.
So having our grain tub above our thing means we don't have to spend money on.
We don't have to have an auger.
All we have to do is have literally just a chute, let gravity put it down. Most of our stuff is built sort of that way. I mean, obviously, the stuff downstairs, it takes a lot more energy to pump that upstairs, but everything else just gravity fed down into whatever we need to go downstairs. But yeah, bigger sites, they'll try to make it as efficient as possible. If they can make it some way where gravity can be used and they don't have to use electrical pumps, they will, just because it takes down operating costs.
There's a distillery, I think in Sweden, everything is gravity fed. I don't think they have any pumps.
wow.
On a hill? On a hill?
Yeah, they build it like tall building, everything gravity fed.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. And obviously, they're trying to save as much cost as they can, so they're trying to look for the most efficient way to do something. If they can prevent having to get a pump, which could break, because we've had that happen here where pumps break and then we can't do anything. So if they can have it where everything can function without having a piece of equipment technically working, that's what they would try to do. Obviously, we have a much smaller building here, so everything had to be developed in a specific way. I forget how many feet across our building is, but it's basically from this wall to that wall, that's as big as our building is, so we had to do what we could.
Yeah. I watched they go from just starting to a gallon.
These are clean ones?
Yeah, those
Cool.
are brought up.
Yep.
Walking there, the grain, and like the carry that all married. Almost as you cross it, maybe get something a bit different. So, do we pump from anything from there here, or it stays cooking over there for a while?
So everything in here, anything in here is the only thing that is pumped from in here anywhere else is everything will go downstairs into our neutralization tank.
Yeah.
Because we have to have, since we use the city's sewers, we have to have a specific way of pumping them out. So basically everything that's in here that can go somewhere is going to go down into our neutralization tank at the end of the day. It'll get neutralized so it has an average pH that's around normal. We don't want to add anything too acidic to sewer systems. I was going to say, don't let me run off with this because I might. This the wheat?
What do we got here?
So this is 125 proof new make. This was yesterday's hearts. We've cut it down to 124.96. So it's in that range. That's what's getting ready to go in the barrel.
See, I like high proof. And you get like the sweetness
Yeah.
on that, but it's still like that spicy punch.
I feel like the new make that comes off our stills too is just a little bit different than what you get from every other place.
Yeah, that's got the hot dog.
Oh, absolutely. Still 125 proof.
Yeah. But the barrel that's aging it, like, it's been a while since I've had one like burned, or not burned, but like you feel it all the way down. Like normally I would get it like just here, and it will stop.
Feel warm in your belly.
Yeah.
It'll do that to you.
I don't need to drink a lot of this. Though.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You don't have to finish it off.
That's not a. I don't think that's a finishing size bottle.
Yeah, I'll be done with that.
You said you're gonna hold on to it.
Yeah, sip on it. If you don't have,
So you're looking to right now we're just checking the proof coming off of the whiskey still. Everything coming out of chill. So we're sitting about 106.8 proof and 56 degrees. Go back to number 56. So it's about 148.2. That's good. It's actually pretty high proof for where we're at. So that's good. So that's really, if you stick your head in there, you're going to go and fill. Smells nice. I'm gonna okay, right now. So mine was great. I do that once a week. At least fair. I mean, I enjoyed that part of it. I enjoyed the small. Oh, you coming with us? No,
I'll go ahead and give this back to you.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly.
Where we want to run. It's a crocodile clip.
Yeah, I thought I understood how it works, but
On the end of this, I know.
okay, I was on the wrong side.
And then there's also a magnet, so you could.
Bring it out here.
Woo! We almost made a mess for you to.
Oh, because this was growing up?
Yeah, not to overflow.
So, did you guys mix buckets or did you collect a bunch?
Like a little bit too much. We were talking and we got distracted.
I mean, it happens.
It happens.
I just saw it and I was like, that's a lot of 4 shots.
This is just going to make a really smooth run.
Nice clean product.
So that amount of like overshot, how many bottles would that equal out at the end of like lost bottles of a run?
That's about 5 gallons. How many 750s are in 5 gallons?
So that would actually be bottles of lost
after
or
aging, it would be after aging and everything. It would probably be very small. After getting distilled again,
yeah, so I mean, because
all the loss from aging, all the aging share.
It's 5 gallons we put in, don't equal 5 gallons we get out. So
yeah, that's what I was trying to work out, like what the
Yeah. We've done it the other way where we didn't do this.
Yeah.
It's worth doing. We can tell the difference. It's a much cleaner spirit when we do it on both distillations.
So the deeper you go into that, the better the quality of spirit, but then the more loss. So this will just be a good run.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, why did that batch come out really good? It's like, oh, we were chatting
We
shit.
overflew the bucket overflowed. It's all over the floor.
Have you had that happen before where you've totally forgot the bucket? Come back and say, yeah.
There's been times where we'll open this, but forget to close this, and so it's still flowing out of
And
the
you walk
hose.
away.
We walk away, and you walk away. One we've had where we close this and it fills up like this, and we hear trickling water, and we run in and realize what's happening.
It happens. We get distracted. You see how up and down, how much up and down we've been doing today? If there's only 2 of us here running, then we've got a lot going on. We're busy and things can kind of slip.
So this is the white you were talking about earlier.
The extra white line.
The white screen. So behind there, the tours will come through it.
Yeah.
You can come in and see you guys working. And
That's where that line is on the wall
Yeah.
is.
And then if there's no one in here, they're just looking at an empty still room.
I'll see this run and see everything. They still give the explanations and whatnot
How often do they come through?
every 30 minutes.
Oh wow. It's pretty frequent. They're like, there's a guy in there streaming.
So if you hop up here, you can actually see, careful, this is going to be real hot. You can see what's happening with those bubble
Oh, yeah.
now.
You can see it bubbling.
And you can
away.
actually see that vapor rising all the way up. So it's probably on the 4th, getting to that 4th tray right now.
This one.
Oh, there you're free. Alright, this is getting ready to start up. Yeah. Really see
Yeah, you can see them like
getting up those
spitting on the walls.
trays, and after it gets to that top one, you'll see this vapor temperature start to rise up, and when it goes, it goes.
How hot is this?
To 180, about 180 degrees. Yep, there it goes.
Oh, yes.
It's up to about 174, slows down. We'll let it get up to right about 180, and then we'll cut that steam back so it runs a little bit slower. So now that's only open.
It's just,
Yep.
goes to sleep sometimes
Gotcha.
when I turn everything off.
So now that is only open 1 round, so it's running a little bit easier. So now that vapor is going to condense down from a gas to a liquid in this condenser, run through this pipe here, and all the way out because of how I have things situated. It is getting ready to start running out of there.
Yeah, we can see it. That's coming off now. And that's your heads?
So this is our 4 shots. So this is just that, it's about 1.5 gallons, 2 gallons that we'll collect. It's stuff that was left in the lines, left in the trays, and some really super volatile compounds, methanol, acetones, things like that, in really high concentrations. So we'll take that and we'll just dump it. And then we'll start collecting heads.
So how high up that bucket do you go?
About right there. About 1.5 gallons, between 1.5 gallons and 2 gallons.
Okay. But it's coming out pretty quick.
Yeah. Careful.
Like, that was a bit
I didn't touch it, but I felt the water, and then I was like, oh,
I have a scar there from about probably 7-8 years ago. It was pre-COVID. I was sweeping underneath the gauging tank, and I swept back and hit the still, and it seared. Like you could see a circle of my skin on the still.
I didn't touch it, but I went straight to it, and I felt the water, like, I'm getting too close. It's a little cloudy. Well, you can see the coppery thing, no? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Flakes.
Yeah, it's like copper sulfate stuff. Yeah, the nice thing with this is like one hand, like in the camera, like photos.
Yep.
If I need to turn the lights, or when one of you guys walk away with the mic and I'm talking to somebody else, I'll switch this to video, and I'm basically using the audio local.
That's
It
cool.
won't be as good as that, so then I'm kind of like switching to it.
All the floor drains up here go down to our neutralization tank. So we can dump in here. It'll go down this hose into the floor drain and straight into our neutralization tank.
The guy's checking.
Yes.
So
Yep.
What's the city guy doing?
He pulls a sample and they send it off for testing. They'll check pH, dissolved solids, and other non-soluble materials. And based on those sample, basically it decides what we get charged, basically. All right, well, I'm collecting heads. You want to run hot water? Cool. So now Nick's going to run hot water. So all of these pipes are going to get real hot.
Very well.
Go ahead. So we're just making sure all of the lines, all of the pipes are completely sterile. We've already steamed the mash cooker, scrubbed it yesterday, steamed it today to make sure it's clean and sterile. That's normal. Then we added water, heated that up to 200 degrees so that we could sterilize the lines. Nick scrubbed out the fermenter to make sure it's clean. And then we will put tops on it to steam it to make sure it's sterile. So anything that unfermented mash touches has to get cleaned and sterilized. Otherwise, there is a very, very good chance that we will get bacterial contamination. Last one.
Why are you doing the double pump?
Because this valve, it's a ball valve in here. So I'm just making sure all parts of the valve and everything.
Well, I think that was only 4.
Yeah, we'll do one more.
Oh, wait.
Because of this weird little offshoot, we want to make sure that that hot water gets drawn up in there, so that way we don't get any weird contamination, any weird water up in there when we're pumping. All right. So that's collecting over there. And this is a fun, yeah. So that's real high proof. This is a little trick we use to make sure everything is good. It's called misting. So you take a sample and then distill the water, and it turns blue in the presence of methanol.
Oh.
So the quicker it turns blue, the more methanol in that sample. So that honestly didn't turn blue super quick. My general rule of thumb, because there's always going to be methanol in there, is when I can add an equal amount of water as to the sample in the glass, before it turns blue, that is acceptable, and I will start collecting parts at that point.
Can you do that again?
Yep. So we're almost there. That was almost equal. Almost there. I don't know that it's a technique that gets used a whole lot.
I was told it was like something like moonshiners would do out in the woods.
So you can see up top there, it's still clear. So I'll give it about 10-15 more seconds.
Close up versus the light shot.
I've seen people use these. I've never actually been on the other end of one. It's pretty nice.
What's really it looks like a good and then I can focus on this one. That one was
I saw this. That's streaming. I don't think he's streaming. I think he's just recording.
live stream would be great.
In the first, yeah. Okay. So that's nice low proof. Really, we're just doing this at this point to make sure it's below 160 proof. Because to be bourbon, it can't come off the still any higher than 160. So as long as it's below 160, we're good. So that's 142 at like 69 degrees. So, right at the meniscus here.
Yeah.
Oh, I made it wobble. So you can see it's right at 142 at that meniscus. And then the thermometer over here is reading at 69 degrees. So we'll come over here to our chart. So we'll go 69 degrees, find 142. It's 138. So as long as it's below 160, we'll go ahead and start collecting hearts. You want to smell that? That's the beginning of the run. So then we'll keep that in there. It's very perfumey. That's at the beginning of the run though, so it's going to be quite harsh.
It's better.
You can taste it, absolutely. Yeah. We will start tasting more when it gets kind of below 135. Whenever we pull a sample and
I had a camera that I go.
oh,
It's like,
when we pull samples, check proof, we'll smell it, but we don't usually taste it until it gets below 135. And then when it gets below 130, we'll really start checking it, tasting it closer. All right.
Not good.
So that's good. No, it's not great.
Hearts taste great.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So once it gets back down a little lower, we'll have a better idea.
So this is the.
That one's more for show, just because the liquid's moving through, and so it's making that hydrometer bounce around. So unless you stop it, it's tough to get an accurate reading.
Yeah, I was looking at that
Now, once it gets down low, or even at the end of the hearts, sometimes it'll give us an idea of which more specific hydrometer to use. All right, let's go ahead and add some more. James, you haven't added any more water, have you?
No.
Cool. So that's all the water we add. Give it a couple minutes to air up. Then we'll check it again. It's about 180, so that should be up and running here in the next 20 or 30 minutes.
What's that? Check proof on this bad look. Getting close. Just checking.
136.4 at 57 degrees. So it's about 137.5. 136. We'll add that 0.4 back to the adjustments. About 137.5
That's your proof.
proof.
And what are you looking to get to?
Between 120 and 128-ish. Once it hits below 130, we'll start pulling. We have a stack of plastic cups. We will start pulling more samples and actually smelling them and tasting them.
Oh, I smell that. That's. Actually, had it. Yeah. It's like a.
Yeah. Don't get me drunk this time.
And we have a. Who's talking?
There's that if you want to try it. Like I said, this is about 137.5.
That's the one that we done earlier. 128.
It's like 140 something.
140.
But that kicked like a horse, like.
Yep.
Oh.
Yes. So
Probably 50.
the condensers had a chance to. It was about 56. The condensers finally had a chance to catch up and recool everything down. So more often than not, it'll run about 56 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit coming off the still. Which is nice because then the temperature adjustment with the hydrometers isn't as drastic.
Look at the condensation at the bottom of the cup.
Yeah, it's chilly. You can see these lines too have started to really condense. Here in the next couple hours, you will see it'll actually condense enough, especially with the steam coming out of there. It'll condense enough on here that it'll just be a line of water underneath them.
When you put the little vents in there, why do you spin it?
Make sure there's no air bubbles on it.
Oh, okay.
Because if there's air bubbles on it, if the air bubbles stick to them, it will actually like
Float it. And what's at the bottom? What's the like bit?
it is just different weighted metal.
Okay.
So like these three are the same. I think it just has to do with brand.
Okay.
Like, because we've had some that are like bright blue and orange and
Okay, so that's just the way it is.
so yeah. So you can actually, if you pick them up and feel them, like even these ones, the same brand, just be careful because they are very. So you can see the temperature or the weight difference because of the change in density from the higher proof versus lower proof. So that's the lighter one, so that's going to be the higher alcohol.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's just a little bit of extra glass because one's bigger than the other.
So we're 132 on our hydrometer, 58 degrees on the thermometer. So 132.7 proof.
This table, what it called? Taking the temperature.
We're getting close, so we'll really start to watch that now. It's about 132 proof. We're going to really keep an eye on it, and then we'll eventually we'll be able to smell the tails coming over,
Okay.
and we'll be able to taste it as well. And
What's the smell? Like, what is the smell you're looking for?
it's kind of got a musty smell to it.
Okay.
Some people say like wet cardboard. It's prominent. Like you guys will be able to pick it up. Pretty, yeah. It's not hard to smell. It's not pleasant. It leaves a really like lingering aftertaste as well.
I think it tastes the way mothballs smell.
Oh,
That's gotta be stuck in it.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. 130. Yeah. So 129 on the hydrometer, 56 on the temperature. What's this at 130?
130.5.
Yeah.
What are we looking for?
About 125 proof, somewhere around there.
Okay.
It's starting to get that musty smell and taste. Gonna start coming over.
What we want to do is we want to catch that before it gets too prominent. We don't want to go in this wrong pocket.
Yeah.
Here in the second room, start smelling. We'll start smelling our distillate coming off our stills, and when we determine that that's too much tail smell, we're gonna make our cuts.
So how are you going to start smelling? Just like taking little nosing cuts out each time?
Yeah, we'll take little samples off in our glasses. We'll nose, be able to smell it coming over. So a lot of sensory. So we go by proof. It's sensory here. That's how we determine our cuts. Still about 129.
Okay, so it's not going too quickly.
No, sometimes it'll hold around for a little bit, and then we'll check it 30 seconds later, and the bottom's falling out of it, and it's 120 proof. So that's why we have to keep a really close eye on it.
Yeah. I can be, let me give you this back for a second.
Yep.
I can be lazy for a second. It's going to do the work now, so if you walk,
Nice.
get on this one.
Oh, will it really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
To an extent of like, within a small distance.
Yeah,
But I can just sit that down now, I can like take a photo.
that's awesome. That's cool.
Like, thank you.
So will it more follow the mic, or like?
No, it's following your face.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So it's got like a 180 degree. The mic is just like a Bluetooth mic.
Gotcha.
So when this starts recording, it starts recording on the mic.
Yeah,
When you stop, and you can turn the recording on and off with the mic.
that's the red button or the red light.
Yeah, I think one of those on one side. There's a power button, a Bluetooth button, and then like a start-stop button. But it's good for like this, of like where you're walking around and you're moving and you want to keep it. I think it's pretty small. So if I can get some nice shots, some nice photos.
So that's starting to pick up a little bit of off notes. Starting to. It's just very subtle.
It's just, I think it's more that it's lost the fruity notes.
Yeah. And it's interesting too because it is a pot still. You are distilling at such a wide range of temperatures. You are able to get a lot of different congeners and chemical compounds coming through in the distillate with different volatilities. So what is it? Jody says the beginning, more high proof part of the run is more floral notes. Middle is more earthy, or middle is more fruity, and then the end is more like earthy. And some of those earthy notes is where you start getting the questionable flavors as well.
Because it's going to change with obviously the mash bills. This is a wheated as well, right?
Correct.
So is it harder to tell? I mean, for you guys, it's probably easy, but like the tails is going to smell differently between a wheated versus a rye versus a.
It's a little different. It's more different when you start getting into like single malt whiskeys and things like that, as opposed to all of your more standard corn, rye, wheat, malt style mash bills.
Okay, so. Found it again.
You want to
Found it again.
So that's right about 126.
Smell a little bit more of the.
You can really, when you taste it, I can get it like right at the back of my tongue, starting to get some of those unpleasant flavors.
Yeah. That is gonna go pretty quick.
Yeah, and sometimes the flavor will completely wash out. Sometimes it'll start tasting like wet cardboard or mothballs, or some of the descriptions that people have come up with. Charlie used to say sweaty gym socks is what he got.
Wet dog.
Wet dog. All less than pleasant.
And we're probably ready to take it.
Something got good on that one.
That's done. So then it's just a matter of close that one, open that one, and we'll start collecting over here.
You tell that real quick.
Yeah, it went.
Layers.
I was like, oh, no.
Thanks.
So just chuck it in.
Yep. So now we'll start collecting over here. We will pump this over to the gauging tank. Just less surface area. And then once this is pumped out, we'll open the bottoms and they'll gravity feed to even out. Good.
Yeah, you set up here.
But like you said, I could change.
It changes
It
so.
wasn't good, it wasn't bad. I could just, like, the earlier stuff was like a lot better, and it was just getting less nice, but not bad.
Yeah.
Like it was just kind of like losing the nicer parts. It was just, notice that it was getting more watery because like it was just getting like more neutral, and then whatever the last one was, like it just went high.
That's why when it gets to that point, about like 126, 128, we won't even start checking the proof anymore
Yeah.
because it goes that quick. We'll just sample.
Yeah. That was crazy how quick it was.
It gets really bad. I don't know what it is, like what temperature. Yep. What temperature, what compound. But there's something consistently between 117 and 119 proof that I think is the worst of any point.
Yeah.
So if it ever slips past us or tastes good through like the 125 range, it will not make it past that range.
Yeah.
It's very unpleasant.
Yeah, and it was like immediate. Like as soon as it hit the top, I was like, whatever that is, get rid of it. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. You seen in my face, I was like,
Yeah, I came back in. I was like, you tried it. You can smell it.
Was that up to 200?
Yeah, I got to cut back.
Cool.
I didn't know.
There's a tour that we do called Behind the Glass, but it'd be on Saturday afternoons, and after everything's done, They would come through on the tour, do the first half of the tour, then come back through behind the glass, and they would do their tasting right here. And so the next tour would come through and the shades would go up, and there's just random people sitting here with 5 glasses of whiskey in front of them. And people would get a kick out of that.
That's quite funny.
Mine's all set over there?
So you're filling
Yep.
the barrel now?
Yep. So I'm gonna have you man the button. You're gonna press the green button underneath where it says product pump.
Give me the camera.
That'll turn the pump on. When you do that, it'll start flowing through there and filling the barrel. So we only have, check that first, about an inch in the barrel right now. So it'll take a couple minutes. When it starts getting up, I'll let you know that it's getting close. You'll get ready to hit this button so that when I say good, you'll hit that button. I'll close that valve so we don't overfill the barrel and make more of a mess.
Sure.
So you can go ahead and hit that green button, turn that pump on.
Make sure it's going. Yeah.
It's going there. You can actually see it.
You can see it like flow through there when we
Just flowing through there. So if you want to take a look down through there, you can see just how much color that has already picked up since yesterday.
Don't get your
morning.
eye too close to
Yeah, get that
Spicy,
alcohol vapor again.
This is the original distillery side? Yeah, was it?
No. So our original distillery was down in Bardstown, kind of at the bottom of the hill from where the Heaven Hill Bourbon Experience is. That distillery burned down in 96. Then in 1999, we bought the Bernheim Distillery, which is our current main big factory distillery. It's over at 17th and Breckenridge. It's about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from here. And then the family has owned this building since the 1940s. All right, we're getting close.
Yeah.
Good. And I'm gonna sneak behind you, grab this beaker.
Press it twice to make sure.
I always do. So we'll drain this out a little bit. Set that there. Make sure that's good and topped off.
Nice. Oh,
I think it's full.
You're lost over here.
All right, we'll bring this out here.
This is
your brick house here that we did?
No, this is just a for show. All these barrels are empty because it's temperature controlled in here. So all of our rick houses are non-temperature controlled. The only temperature control we do is we open the windows in the summer and close them in the winter. Got Sharpie?
Yeah, we'll get it right.
So how many barrels are you typically making? Just one or?
Here we make about a barrel a day. Yep.
Do the explanation of what you're doing here. I'll give you this one. And I'm going to come and sit behind you.
Yeah. So we're just going to write down the identifying information on this barrel. So this is wheated bourbon. It's a 16% wheated bourbon mash bill. So we're going to put that on there. We're going to put the date the barrel was filled. So it's the year, the month, which corresponds with the letter of the alphabet. September is A, and then the day. So 04.
The last two barrels we've sent out were labeled G.
Whoops. And then EW for Evan Williams. No, put the serial number on there as well. So we're going to go 25 I 04 EW. Serial number 2596. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll have all the information for this. We'll be able to track this. We'll be able to look it up in the computer, see where it is, how long it's been there. Yeah. So we have a truck that will come twice a week. He'll bring us empty barrels. He'll take our full barrels back to Bardstown. From there, they'll be sent out to different rick houses throughout Nelson County.
Sure. These will, the ones from here will go to different rick houses. What determines their rick house?
Where there's space.
Yeah, basically where there's space. Basically where there's space. We, I think we're still building rick houses, aren't we? Yeah, we're still
About
building.
one every 6 months.
Yeah. Big rick houses.
We're
too.
also in the process of replacing some old rick houses. So they will tear down 3 old rick houses that hold between 18 and 20,000 barrels. Then on that site, they will build 1 new rick house that will hold up to like 60,000 barrels.
Yeah.
So still the same capacity, just newer, safer, more technology available.
Less likely to burn down in a fire.
Yes.
learn from the past.
Let's do the honors. We have a hammer,
Oh yeah.
a long hammer, and we have a bone. Someone wants to do the hammering.
Who wants to can hold that? One hit?
You gotta hit it harder than you think you need to.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
You want to get it flush, almost flush.
Almost flush.
Yeah. That's a pretty good first hit, to be honest with you. Yeah, you're good. You probably could have stopped after the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one's getting that out.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, you nailed that.
Cracked it.
Oh, look at that.
Cracked your barrel.
It's not bad.
It'll seal.
It'll swell.
Yeah.
You can
It'll
see that
swell up, and it'll be like it was never.
it's starting to build that pressure up and it's pushing out there. No, I don't think you did that. It takes a lot to split a stave that way.
It's probably already there.
You said harder than you think.
Yeah, and you nailed it. Cool. Okay, here you go. You guys.
Most people will give it a little.
Want to sign? We're gonna let you all
Oh,
sign
yeah.
this barrel as well.
Where do we sign this?
You can sign it anywhere except for up this way. So
Anywhere on the front. Okay.
anywhere on the belly.
I'm gonna sign my handiwork.
How long would this mature for?
We don't really put an age on it when we put them in, but our Square 6 products are about 5 to 6 years old, probably.
But you won't know bottling or anything, I think. We won't be able to tell us the batch number so we can come and buy a bottle of the one that we just...
Unfortunately not, no.
covered.
Need the shades up, or you good?
It's harder to write on wood than you think as well.
We still have whiskey in the engaging tank that we need to put into another barrel. So this barrel will be topped off. More.
So that's what you said, like in just a day, like it had gained all that color because
That was what we
left over from yesterday.
Yep. And that's why we say we make about a barrel initially.
Yeah.
Because we're never going to make exactly 53 gallons to fill that barrel exactly, because there's so many variables. So we'll partially fill the barrel, top it off, and it's considered filled today. Did you get at your level?
Start on the pump.
Yep.
And we just run that till it's empty.
Yep. So once it drains out, you'll see bubbles start to come through here. We will put the compressed air on it so it blows compressed air through and flushes out the lines. So all of the whiskey goes in the barrel and there's nothing left in the lines. As we did the math, it's about just the lines from the gauging tank to here will hold almost 2 gallons of whiskey.
Oh, here's the bubbles. I got this one actually. Does everything.
What's that?
Does everything.
That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna sneak past here. I'm gonna go put air on this tank so it'll blow all the line.
The air bursts. Still got a bit flowing through.
That's just barely on the sides. When it starts pulsing through, that's usually enough.
Yeah,
You
we
can go
just
ahead and
seen that.
hit that pump, and we'll go ahead and ring these lines.
We're not doing it for this.
Do you want this thingy?
Nothing for the day. Oh, there's a big weight difference between
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah. Now, granted, that's our lowest one versus our highest one, but
This is a friend here.
What are you doing here? You can get it in a little later, but like, hard release, standard release, cut release.
So here we have our 3 Square 6 releases. We have our high rye bourbon, which has 35% rye in the mash bill. We have the rye whiskey, 63% rye in the mash bill. Then we have our wheated bourbon. Mash bills, everything on the labels. These two, 95 proof, and then the wheat is at 105 proof.
So I already like wheat more than usually, and then a little bit of extra proof. So I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, I'll get into these here in a second. We pushed for a higher proof on this one. We tried a different proof, so we thought the higher proof was the best. Last year's Bourbon Festival was the first time we had a booth with the Square Six, and the wheat was pretty popular. We had people coming up to us saying, "Hey, we've heard your wheated bourbon's pretty good. We'd like to try it." That did pretty well there.
All right, we're gonna start at the beginning. This is the first release here from our distillery. Will it pick it up if we just pick us all up?
Yeah, I mean, if we put it here, it should get most of
Put it
it.
there.
It's a very loud room, so it's going to be like a little bit hit and miss anyway. If you
Nick tasting.
It is.
Downstairs.
He's dumping malt right there. Okay. Well. First release. This is, so it's 52% corn, 35% rye, 13% malted barley. It's 95 proof. Let's get into it.
About 6 years.
So pot still, so it's going to be different than traditional bourbons. Yeah.
Very sweet.
There you go.
it's a high rye, right?
Yeah, high rye bourbon.
So because it is pot stilled, it changes a lot, especially with air. So, I mean, there's this much air in the bottle. So depending on how long you've had the bottle open or when you open it at first drink is going to be different than if you let the bottle sit for a few days and then pour out of it. It's going to change as it oxidizes more than a normal column still whiskey.
I like that. That's like very caramelic with like peppery. Sweet peppery something.
A little bit of kind of like a raisiny thing going on.
Yeah. I get the grapey notes.
Kind of like a dried fig, dried plum kind of.
Yeah, the dark fruit. We're on that articulation point where I'm like, I taste it, I know what that is. I don't have a word for it.
Right on the tray. You get all this taken care of.
Now the rye's going to be interesting. I still am working out my feelings with rye. Like some rye I really like, and some rye I'm like not a fan of.
Yep.
Mostly like you know you get like I call them medicinal. Like you get the real herbal, real
Kind of, yeah. I get like grassy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of dill sometimes on rye.
So some of those I'm not as big on, but then some of them are really, really nice. And it's like I can't work out. There's no way to tell on the bottle. Like
I'll be interested to see what you think of this one then. Because this one is a higher rye content. So there's no legal standard for high rye, or I mean technically even small batch or single barrel, but high anything. There's no industry standards. I mean, there's ryes out there that are 95% rye. This is high rye by Heaven Hill standard. When we released this was the highest rye content that Heaven Hill had put out.
Big, minty.
yeah, but it doesn't have that like front spice. There's no like those medicinal herbs that I was saying. It doesn't have any of those. This is what confuses me about rye, because you buy a rye on a bottle, and then I'm like, no idea, like.
Crapshoot. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more so than bourbon is. Like I
So
find,
what ryes do you like?
I only like one, the new riff.
New Riff, I think they can make really good ryes. So Bardstown rye I've liked, but then I've got a Bardstown single barrel rye which I didn't like. And I gave away a Willet to a friend.
Okay.
Because it was like a 14-year-old Willet. Couldn't pay me to drink it.
Really?
Yeah. Like it just tasted like medicine.
I like it. It's quite.
But it's exciting to buy it, 'cause, like,
Yeah.
everyone says like really.
There goes Shades. So they're checking media. Still pumping. I heard that pump change.
It's down there, but
So I get the rye, like the grainy, earthy rye notes from this, but without, as I said, without the herbal kind of
I like this. They get a bit of
medicinal notes.
yeah.
It tastes like rosemary tea. It tastes like rosemary tea. Big rosemary.
Okay.
There's a little bit of it like right at the back end. Those like
I don't get a whole lot of like
this on the
spicy
This has all the
peppery
flavor
that a lot of
ryes have.
which is why this one was interesting because this one was
like the
more grassy and
yeah, like that up front, like right on your nose.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is like the heavy burn, not burn, but it's like punchy spice.
Yeah.
That doesn't have that.
so this one. So these can be finicky if you're making cocktails with them.
Okay.
The nature of pot still.
Pot still whiskeys in general can be finicky when it comes to cocktails. This one we found is really good making whiskey riffs on tiki cocktails.
Okay.
So like a Mai Tai, so a Rye Tai, we've done Jungle Birds, we've done Painkillers. It works in all of them. And it's really good.
Nice. Try that.
Oh, we're hopping in, huh?
Yeah, I like that. It's just when into the front, out to the side, like really nice. Immediately like that warming.
This seems to be the favorite.
The nose on that is fantastic.
That is also my favorite. But the first time around the bourbon, I like it too.
Good.
But that wheat is.
Honestly, I'm a fan of them all. Of course, I'm partial.
Of course, yes.
But last year at Bourbon Festival, what I did is I went around to all the other craft distilleries that use pots.
There's not a lot of
Not
that.
a lot. I really think ours hold up to all. I think ours. There's a lot of really good stuff on pot whiskey. They make some good stuff. Theirs just really good. I wanted to compare it to other top produced bourbons, and I was pretty happy with our standing.
How do you know which ones are?
A lot of people just advertise it.
Oh.
Like if you go to the website, they'll advertise it.
They don't have to declare it on the bottle or anything like that.
Usually, if they are, they do because they want to. It's a point of difference.
Yeah, differentiate. And then the ones that I wasn't sure, I just went up and I just straight up asked them. Like, you use pots or you use pot? They'd be more than happy to tell you. There was a couple that used pots and I didn't. Like Old Stillhouse uses the pot.
Do they really?
Yeah. I didn't know that. Old Stillhouse.
They might be right next to us.
Yeah, the week still wins. The week still wins.
I like the bottle shape too.
1, 2, 3 today.
Yeah, it's a nice bottle. We're really happy with the bottle. I like the labels.
Yeah.
I really like the golds.
Yes.
The gold on it.
I like that too.
You say you went 1, 2, 3 wheated by bourbon.
Wheat rye bourbon.
Same.
I'm wheat
But the
bourbon,
thing is,
right?
We better
But-
run.
Like I said, because of how much they change, everyone will always ask, oh, what's your favorite? Like, until I taste them all side by side, I do not have an opinion today.
So is this a blend of two mash bills?
Yeah, so this is a blend of 2 different mash bills. One that we did today and then a 20%. We did mash bills, so what we did, we just they just let us go crazy, do whatever we wanted. We're like, let's do a bunch of different stuff. So we did 2 different weighted mash bills and we found that one is better than the other.
So that was a mix of the two,
That was a blend.
and then eventually you just went to one of them.
So what's the ratio that you blend up?
60-40. It's 60-40. You remember which is 60 and which is 40.
60% is the 20% wheat, 40% is the 16% wheat.
lots of alcohol.
So we're gonna keep the 16% unit measure.
And the barrels in that batch range anywhere from 5 to 9 years, so it averages out to about 7.
Yep, you're up. Square 6 products. Hope you all like them.
Yeah, no, that's good.
That is definitely my favorite. So second, and I actually didn't mind trying. Right? Obviously I have a try with them, so.
Yeah. So you were also beat bourbon, right? So you were both beat bourbon, right?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're not done. So we have certificates. You can try that here. Not a lot of room. Certificate of completion. And
Thank you.
Bourbon Bootcamp challenge coin.
That's so cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
DSP KY1.
Yep. We are DSP KY1. We got the KY1.
That's super cool. Oh my god, that is so cool. It's not drinking alone if the dog is home. Beware of dog kisses. Oh, so cute. It's what's on the backside. It's plain. But I like that. That's cute. All you need is a dog and good bourbon.
Oh, look at this one.
I like that too.
I really like this baby.
Yeah. We can definitely get those. I found a park right out front. Perfect. What we got over here? Umbrellas. Ready to drink old fashioned. Evan Williams 12 candles. Cut out of the old bottles. The Evan Williams barrels, barrel heads. Look at this, Andrea. These are cool. Whiskey tubes for 100 ml. Lastly, barrel proof. What are we drinking? What we got? Is this Harvest Pumpkin Pie? Oh my gosh. Smell that.
You guys know how to vet your friends' friends, apparently.
Oh, that is delicious. Here we go. Spiced apple.
It looked like I'm never doing too much exercise. I mean, let's be honest here. I know.
Salted honeys.
It's all beer for me. But
That's right.
now
Can
you're
we read your best shot? Bar mat.
Oh, yeah. They're having a good time. Shannon and Baker, they'll take care of it.
The Evan Williams Bourbon Experience, like hats. Like football. American Hero Edition small batch. Lavender syrup. That's interesting. I like this. Here, Dad, drink this. It'll make you feel better. Here, Dad, drink this. It'll make you feel better. Limestone filtered water. $10 a bottle of water. We never got to meet Jody. There's Jody. The square sixes. Yeah.
Another one of our tasting rooms, the world is
Fire, peach, honeys for $20 each. It's kind of cool. Big straw. And we do need to grab ourselves one of those bar mats. We've got bourbon hair clips.
Yeah, filament.
The doormat is also very cool. That looks like everything here downstairs. We can try out the lift this time. There is 5 floors here, which I did not realize. On 3, it's the bar, 2 gift shop, 1 lobby.
Better.
Sitting places. The right hand side. So that was the Evan Williams Bourbon Bootcamp. We got some, as we leave here, Evan Williams, we got some really cool like certificates and a like challenge coin to say that we've completed the boot camp, and it's nice to say like the KY1, DSP KY1. Really informative. It's actually getting the opportunity, and this was probably the most interesting and the most surprising part of tasting when they make the cut, when the tails came in. It's a really visceral, like, you can really tell that that's a tails, and that's the not great part to be adding to the whiskey. My brain is not using real words at the moment. But such a great experience if you're particularly, I mean, it's $600 and you can come with up to 6 people, so it's like $100 each. If you do that, I mean, you're just crazy not to do it a little bit, because it's such a good experience. But I mean, we've done it with 2 of us, and I still think that was like really great value and worth it. We opted to do that instead of VIP tickets to the Bourbon Festival. That was almost like the price difference for 2 people, and I think that is well on point for a better investment. So we're going to check out Louisville a bit now, downtown. We've got a little bit of free time before getting ourselves ready for Kentucky Bourbon Festival tomorrow.